Hello everyone. My name is Loki Hong. Welcome to our YouTube presentation video for our assignment AACS 2034 Fundamentals of Computer Network. The slides are prepared by Loki Hong and Bukai Jie. So we're going to talk about the network scenario, network design, subnetting table, addressing IP, and also the digital resources that we use to complete the task. Network scenario. So we're required to design and implement a network for media wave broadcaster company, which is a small medium organizations. Include buildings with several locations. So these are the locations A, B, and C. The distance between A and B are 500 meters. A and C is 200 meters. So these are the department inside of each of the locations: international news, administrations, newsroom, productions, marketing, human resources, engineering. So these are the network design. So the end devices we use is the PC, laptop, server, printer, IP phone, tablet, and smartphone. While the switches are the PT switch 2950-24, and the PTMT router. The connections cable we use is copper straight 2 and copper crossover. So the router will place at the center to connect each of the switch PT with the limiter port. So then it will extend it with the switch 2950-24. So able to support the multiple devices over here. So for the connections, we're using the Shrek 2 to connect the different devices to each other, like the router to the switch and switch to the PC. While crossover cable, we use to connect the switch PT to the switch 2950-24. So these are some netting table for the host before growth. As you can see, this is the largest number of it, largest, which means the largest required host. Moving on, we will be calculating for the after growth of 25% of it. So we take 450 times with the 124% equals to 563. We also can do it in this way, which times with 25% of it and add up with the original numbers. So then we will try to find the subnetting table. So the content of it will be a CIDR prefix, first usable address, broadcast address, subnet address, last usable address, and subnet mask. So we will first select the largest host required for it, which is the administration department, content of 563. And then we will start to collect the information given, which the IP design start with this range of number and is identified as the class 8 of the private IP address range. And the custom mask and the default subnet mask of it is 255.0.0.0. And this is the custom subnet mask that I will show in a while. So then we will calculate for total number of host address by taking 2 power of 10 equals to this number. So you're able to cover up the largest amount of the hosts after the growth. And the number bits of error, we'll be using 22 deduct with 8 to get the 14 bits of it. The first thing, we will find the first usable IP address. So we will take the first number of the subnet address, add up with 1 to get the first usable IP address. The next one is to find the broadcast address. I will first use the given information and then convert it into the binary, and then replace the 1 into the 0 remaining parts, and then convert it back to the decimal place. So it will be 3.255. And then the first subnet mask, the first subnet address will then add up with this to get a broadcast address of it. This is the next broadcast address with the same calculation methods to get the next one. Next is the finding subnet mask. So we're using the total bits, which is the 32 of it, and deduct with 10, which is the total numbers of hosts that able to cover up for the largest number of hosts to get a 22, and then convert it into binary to get this. To find the subnet address, we will looking at the third octet of it. So from here, we use the 2 power of 2 to get 4. So the range of increment of it will be this. finding the last usable IP address, the formula that we're using is to use the broadcast address, deduct with 1 to get the last usable IP address, which is this. So this is the subnetting table before growth. And this is the subnetting table after the growth. So all the informations required are displayed over here. So moving on to the addressing table. So this is the router that we use to connect all of it with the default gateway over here and the same subnet mask. Moving on to location A. So we are using multiple devices like printer, IP, phone that we state in the previous slide. So all of it are using a different IP address than default gateway. So to make sure they're able to connect to each other and with the same subnet mask. And this is the location C. And this is the location C. The previous one is the location B, sorry. So moving on, I will pass to my teammates, Bukaje. So that's for my parts. Thank you.
Thank you, Locking Home. My name is Bukaje. Now I will talk about the command and the functions. Now, so if we want to set up a router, we can use enable to enter the privileged execution mode, and then config terminal to enter the global configuration mode. After that, you can use interface command to select the Ethernet interface that you are choosing, and then we can use command IP address to assign the IP address with subnet mask into the interface. After we have set up the IP address, we can use the no shutdown to activate the interface, bring it out of shutdown mode and allowing it receive and send data. Moving on next, how to set up the password for router and switch. So same thing, we go to global configuration mode and enable, use enable secret and choose your password. And then we go to line console 0 to enter the console line configuration mode and set the password for the login. And then we go to the line VTY 015. Same thing, we set the password for VTY password. To enable it, we use login and then so that you can exit. For the same thing, like set up for the switches, so you need to enter interface VLAN 1 and then you assign IP address with subnet mask, no shutdown, exit, and then you set the IP default gateway for it. So to set up a hostname, so you can use command hostname to set up the hostname for switches or router. To change the banner, you can use command banner motd and then select the message that you want. To save the startup configuration into NVM, so we can use command, but no need to enter the global configuration mode. So we use copy running config into the startup config file name, and then if you want to see the content, you can use show startup config. Now I will demo through one time how you set up the switches to the end devices. Okay, so as you can see, this is our network topology. There's location A, B, and C. Now, for example, in location C, I want to set up a new switches. We can use copper crossover, choose your Ethernet, and then use copper thread 2 to connect between end device and switches. Now we open the switches, CLI. We type enable config T for the config terminal, and then choose the interface VLAN 1, IP, address. Since we are using the 24 gateway, so we can use 25 since this is inside the usable IP address. Give it a random number 89 with subnet mask. No shutdown to save the state, and then you can exit. If you want to enable the password, you can use config T enable secret. For example, I want this secret password, and then we go to line console 0. Type login until the password is set. Line console 0, sorry. Line console 0. We can use password CLA33 and then type login. Same thing, we go to line 015. Password CLA33. Type login again. Now we are good. If you want to set a banner, we can use banner MOTD MB double quotations. Then we can go outside. So you can see admin only, the banner change also need require the password CLA33. And then if we want to enable, also need the password for secret. This is how you set up for switches. Now, if you want to set up a IP address for end devices, you can go to desktop tab and then IP configuration. Set a, for example, I use 27 or I give it a random 33, 255.252 subnet mask, and then the default gateway 24.1. Yes, this is how you set up IP configuration for end devices. So if we want to ping, I want to ping a laptop here for 100. Well, first time pinging, it might take some time to ping, but it's okay. We can wait for a while. Uh, you will get an immediately response. If I ping for the second time, you will get it. Yeah, this is how you set up devices. Now I want to talk about the digital resources we have used. We have used a Cisco packet to design our network topologies and Google Docs for our documentation like reports and stuff, and Discord, WhatsApp for communication with each other to discuss the assignment and progress. And we have used YouTube to upload our video, and also we have researched how to config the devices. We have used Canva to present our slide. Last thing, we have used the OBS Studio and Gen to edit our and record in our video. Thank you for watching. This is our presentation.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy